Lindenwood head coach Jed Stugart. The Lions begin the season. Wisconsin Stevens Point Thursday night. One of 4 Big South OVC teams playing on Thursday. You can see it on ESPN Plus. So, Coach, we're here. The season's here. Just some general thoughts about your team.
Well, obviously we're pretty excited about. I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn down my volume here. Can you hear me all right? So sorry, technical difficulties on my end here, but obviously it's the first game, and it's coming out of fall camp. I think everybody's going to use the word, hey, we're excited to get started. That's kind of the thing, but we're obviously excited to get to a game, and we got a lot of some key positions that are being filled, and so it'll be a good chance to come in against a team we just don't really know much about. That's one thing about the last couple of years, is every week it's new to us. It's somebody that we haven't played, and this year will be another half of those that we haven't played. So we're kind of used to that, but I think we're ready to get going here.
Perfect. That sounds perfect, Coach. We'll get into some questions here. We got Mike from Red Shirt Sports has joined us this morning. I know he has a question for you. So, Mike, I'll just let you go ahead and start, and whatever you got, fire away.
Great. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, Mike.
First of all, I wanted to congratulate you on the success you had last season. That was very impressive, coming into the OVC, moving up to the D1 level.
Appreciate that.
Also, I've been in the St. Louis area, so I am very familiar with Lindenwood. I guess one of the biggest questions I had was at quarterback, following Cade from last year. He was a big part of the offense. How do you feel like you are set at the quarterback position for this season?
Well, those are obviously big shoes to fill. I think I feel really comfortable with Cole Duggar just because he's been in our program. He redshirted here, through he's been in our program. He's been behind Cade. He's learned behind Cade for about 3 years now. And also, when Cade broke his leg a couple years ago, a key part of a game against Indy, it was basically deciding the conference championship. He came in, his first throw as in his college football career, he threw a back shoulder perfect strike for a touchdown to basically win the game for us. And so just a cool cucumber comes in, he just got that aura about him. And so our kids and guys that have been here have seen Cole. He's been in game situations, not a lot of them, and there's some similarities to him and Cade in a lot of ways, but there's a lot of differences too. Cole's a very accurate passer. He's a little bit faster. Cade was a great runner and a powerful guy. Cole's actually can run the football too, and he's might be just even a little faster. I mean, there's little things that these are things Cade would tell you too. It's but a very accurate passer, very smart football player. He's a very good leader. He's a different type of leader than how Cade was. But a lot of respect in that locker room. So it gives us a lot of comfort knowing that Cole's been here, how much our guys really support him, the respect that he has, both offense, defensively. And so we feel very comfortable with Cole in that position.
Okay, great. One other question. Looking at your schedule, there's several first-time meetings, obviously. Kind of talk about what is your preparation just because of the first-time meetings, teams that you haven't played before. What is your preparation for those games?
Well, it's cliched, Mike, but everybody says, be 1-0 each week. But, our mindset really has to be focused on 1 week at a time. I mean, I think, we're going to be underdogs probably in 8 of our 10 games. We kind of understand that. I mean, our team knows that. We've not tried to, I know even when we came back from media day and we find out where we were picked in the conference, I told our guys, that's great. You can let that kind of eat at you and take. But at the end of the day, we haven't really done anything for anybody to. So don't take too much offense to it. You got to see that's where you're perceived, but that's probably right now until we win consistently in this league. Those are things. And the thing about it is the games where last year where we picked off some upsets. The kids went in with the mindset of they had nothing to lose, and they just went in and played 4 quarters of football. And that's kind of how we walked out of Central Arkansas with the win, and some others that, where, we were the underdog, but our guys kind of didn't care. They didn't really read into that. And that's what this year is going to be a lot about. I mean, we play some Missouri Valley teams that are, that league is obviously the reputation that it holds. And, so we don't look at anything like it's just a real blue collar mindset, underdog kind of a mindset that we have to take each week. And doing that means we have to play consistent 4 quarters of football. And the wins that we had last year, we were able to be in the game in the 4th quarter, keep grinding, keep believing. And when adversity kind of hit, we overcame some of the adversity where maybe others didn't. And that was kind of the deciding factor. And so, we've had and looking back last year and, on those things. And that's what we've learned going into this year. I think, we always said coaching is a lot about psychology. This year is going to be a lot about psychology. We've got a young team. When I say an immature team, I'm not saying in their actions, but they're very young. And there are going to be some immaturity out there as far as just not having a lot of experience. And sometimes, that can be a positive thing because kids don't know, kind of that fun slogan, young and dumb kind of deal is like not a bad thing. Sometimes kind of a, hey, just go out and play, and they don't know what to expect. And that can be a positive too. So one game at a time. And, in our deal this year, we're playing a team that's at a lower division, and we have to make sure we're focused on that and not take that for granted and think that people are just going to bow down to us when they walk out here. They're going to come ready to play and want to upset somebody just like we wanted to upset somebody. So this will be a good test from a mature standpoint. Just how mature are we as we head into get through this one and start getting into our next one.
Okay, thank you. One more question. One guy that really impressed me last season was Kobe McClendon. Kind of on the D line, how versatile is he? I mean, how can you utilize him on the line? Can you move him around, or do you think he's more valuable, kind of up in the center of your 4-3?
Well, he's a very we haven't really looked at moving him around a lot because he's a very good defensive end, and he's elusive and he's a good pass rusher, and he does a lot of things to that side of the line. And we're finally in a situation where we're probably not completely where we want to be defensively as far as our depth goes, but we're gaining some good ground. I mean, this is going to be another step, and Kobe's one of those guys that you just have so much confidence on that side of the ball. Now, we're always looking week in and week out at matchups. So moving him around in a sense of saying, okay, what can he expose on matchups? And when we look at opposing offensive lines and things like that, he does move around a little bit when we get into some of our other fronts, if we're playing some other fronts or even an odd look, he can kind of almost come off like an outside linebacker. Kobe's athletic enough where you could drop him and do some of those things, but it's not completely what we do. But he could do some of those things, but he gets a little versatile in some of our defensive looks, but really matchups. We start looking at when you get guys like him and you say, okay, how would he look against this tackle? How would he look against that tackle? And that's when you get a player like that, that's when you start to move guys around a little bit. And we started doing that a lot last year, just kind of seeing where we felt like he could expose, and he did.
Okay, great. Just one last, I take up too much time, but one last thing. I live in Central Illinois and in Monticello. And I've spoke to several of the high school coaches around here that sent players down to take part in your camp.
Mm-hmm.
And every one of them was very impressed with your camp. And I just kind of wanted to pass that along. The high school coaches around that I've spoke to, they were very impressed with your camp and thought it was well run. So congratulations on that.
Thanks, Mike. And that I want to give full credit to my coaching staff and Coach Baldwin, who is our special teams coordinator, but he's our camp director too, does a phenomenal job of, that's kind of his baby. And it's been a little bit of a work in progress when we first got here to get it to where it's at. But, I want to deflect all that credit, because one thing we're really big about is organization. Sometimes a lot of these mega camps they're just mass kids everywhere. There's not a lot of organization, and we're very humbled by the comments that we get by a lot of coaches about how organized that is. And we had 2,000 kids here, in 2 days, and that's and to have it as organized as it is, I just give a lot of credit to my staff and especially Coach Baldwin. But thanks for letting us know that, Mike. We're gracious to the coaches, and having 300 college coaches here, and so many programs, over 100 college programs from around the country show up here. I mean, it's a fun couple days. Appreciate that.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time this morning. Best luck on Thursday night, and we'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
Thanks, Kyle. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mike. Good talking with you.